Hello, everybody. From Toronto, Canada, this is the 10th summit, and we're going to present the HTML5 client latest news. My name is Anton Georgiev. I work on BigBlueButton. I've been working on it for 3 years now. I work for Blindside Networks in Ottawa. And here with me are
Okay, so I'm Lucas. I've been working with the MConf team on MConf Live and now in HTML5 clients.
And I'm Mario. I'm with the MConf team. I have been working for 3 years, and I'm from Brazil.
I'm Osvaldo. I've been working with BBB for almost 2 years. I'm from IMDT from Brazil.
I'm Gabriel. I'm also from IMDT from Brazil, and I'm working on IMDT on HTML for almost 2 years now.
I'm Kurt. I'm a Seneca co-op student. I've been working with this HTML5 client for about 8 months now. I was working on accessibility.
Hi, my name is Jalen, and I'm also Seneca co-op student. I've been working here around 8 months, and I'm also working on the HTML5 client.
My name is Matthew Marangoni. I'm also with the Seneca team here in Toronto. Been working on the HTML5 client for about 1 year now.
I'm Daniel Perone. I work in Toronto. I work for Blindside Networks. I've been working on BigBlueButton for 3 years. I work on the HTML5 client and WebRTC-based.
And I'm Alex. I'm in Toronto. I work for Blindside Networks, and I've been working on HTML5 for the last 2.5 years.
My name is Klaus. I'm from Brazil. I'm working on BBB for the past 4 months. I'm working on the HTML5 client.
all right, this is the team. And the agenda for today consists of several points. First, we're going to give update on the progress. We're going to go through the architecture. And also, we're going to cover recently added features. We also include several investigation and prototyping projects. And at the end, when we show the links and resources, it will be time for questions and answers. At any time during this presentation, you can also type your questions in the public chat, and we're going to address them. So the HTML5 client is designed to be ready to be made in several phases. The first one is just the viewer client. And in viewer client, we have several features. There is two-way audio and chat. Also, there is full presentation view, so the viewer sees everything that the presenter displays. We have emojis handled. We also respond to all the polls that the presenter initiates. We have breakout rooms and closed captions to fully support BigBlueButton 1.1. And there are some minor features that are typically for presenter that are included in the viewer phase of the client, such as changing slides. And this is just to help potential use cases where people in the room are taking turns to present a slide or two while they're viewers. Some of the features are yet to be completed, for example, the desktop sharing, but we have more details for this further in the presentation. And let's cover the architecture. So this is a very simple view of what happens in the HTML5 client. To the left, we have the Flash client, which already exists. To the right, we have the HTML5 client, just one of the client views. And under the line here is the entire BigBlueButton architecture. So a specific use case to demonstrate how the HTML5 client is structured would be how we handle sending a message, sending a chat message. So imagine you're in the HTML5 client and you send a public message. This is going to be sent to server side and we don't immediately authorize the user to display to everyone else. We have some checks to check if that specific user is allowed to send a public chat. And once that check passes, we send a message using Redis to the entire BigBlueButton core. So once the message is here, we can propagate it to all the Flash clients in the meeting and all the HTML5 clients in that same meeting. So the way we do it on the HTML5 client side is we actually have collections in MongoDB. So once we receive a Redis message for a new incoming public chat message, we're going to update the MongoDB collection with a new document. On the client side, we have an exact copy of the Mongo collection. It's using mini-Mongo. It's a subset of mini-Mongo that's only including the current meeting and what the specific user represented by this client is supposed to see. So mini-Mongo will be updated with this new document containing the public chat message, and the HTML5 client will be displaying it.
So here you see some of the Meteor features that are included. Meteor is a JavaScript framework. As Anton had just mentioned, there's MongoDB on the server side, which syncs up to Mongo on the client side. This is all built on top of Node.js, which is asynchronous. We use JavaScript pretty much everywhere, which server and client side. And for front end, we use React.js, and we use reactive rendering for all the client GUI. So some of the server-side technologies that we use include ES6, JavaScript, Babel, Meteor, MongoDB, and Winston. And some of the client-side technologies are also ES6, JavaScript, Babel, React for front-end rendering, Sass for CSS, Post CSS, and CSS modules.
So in BBB HTML5 client is completely localized right now. So localization refers to the adaptation of a product, application, or document content to meet the languages and culture and other requirements of a specific target market. So in HTML5, we use React-INTL library to provide the localization. And also we are using transifex to provide, to upload the original JSON file for translated languages. So using these two, it provides the efficient, accurate, and sensitive to context, style, and tones we can provide it. This one the display how percentage is about the progress. So English, German, Indonesian is already finished to translate it, and another languages also working on the translated now. So in the BBB HTML5 client, we can change the language according to this drop-down menu. So whatever, if you choose the German and then press enter, and then it provides the translated languages. Thanks.
Go ahead, Drew.
Are we connected? Okay, so we've tried to improve the accessibility of the HTML5 client, both for keyboard users and those using screen readers. in particular NVDA. In terms of the keyboard navigation, we've improved the settings modal so that it now behaves better than it used to. It's easier to navigate with the keyboard, so you can see the sort of layout of how everything moves around right now. You can use the tab keys to basically jump through the options in the menu, and then the arrow keys to basically go down and select whatever option you require. As a new feature that we've added was the keyboard navigation or accessibility for the users list. We've basically taken the user list and made it its own tab stop so that it's part of the general tab order. Once inside that, or once that item is focused, we can now use the arrow keys to go up and down, cycling through the users in the list. And this eliminates having to basically tab through a very large class if otherwise. You can also open and close the menu options using the left and right arrow keys. And overall, it just makes using the user list a whole lot easier with the keyboard. For instance, if you were anywhere in the middle of a list and it was a large class, instead of having to cycle through each user to get to the actual list itself, you could simply press escape and it'll reset your position in the list so you can maneuver again. Now we've also added a few new features to help support the screen reader, NVDA specifically, because it's the open source one. A lot of the elements have labels and descriptions, so you get a combination of the screen reader telling you what element you actually are on or focused on, as well as a contextual description of what that said element might do, which helps being able to navigate specifically with the screen reader alone. We've also implemented some regions so that the screen reader can navigate through the client a little bit faster. So as you can see here, all the red areas are basically ARIA regions that can be navigated to by just pressing the D key on the keyboard. Now, once you're inside of a region, you can use any of the other NVDA shortcut keys. So like jumping to a next button would be pressing a B, or finding a heading would be H. And once you use these shortcut keys, the screen reader would voice whatever element that you land on. So overall, the screen reader can navigate without seeing.
Okay, so let's talk about breakout rooms on the HTML5 client. Okay. So you are able to join a breakout room in the HTML5 client. When you are invited to the room, you see a model appear, this model you see on the screen. And if you choose to join the breakout room, you click join, and you will be redirected to a new tab with the breakout room. So when you are inside the breakout room, you see a remaining time on the top of the screen. When this time ends, you just exit the breakout room, and in the breakout room you can use everything you can in the main room, so you can use audio, chats, see presentations, everything.
So I'm going to talk about some of the audio features. You can join audio in two ways, with your microphone or as listen only. Audio we use is powered by WebRTC, and it's implemented using SIP.js and Verto. And it doesn't require sharing of any peripherals, so your microphone or your headset. And you can see in the two modals below, there's the modal to join audio with your preference choice, and then the way you would appear in the user list when you have joined or haven't joined in each way.
I will be talking a little about logging errors from client to server. Whatever bug or error occur on the client, since we are running on different stations, it's very hard to follow the problem and solve them. because sometimes it only occurs on a specific browser within a specific version. To overcome this problem, we came with a solution to log the user errors thrown by the client to the server. Within the message sent by the client, there is information like the screen size, the BBB server version, where he was on the app when the error occurs, the language, and surely the error itself. With this log, we can more easily reproduce on our environment, development environment, the problem and fix to not happen again.
All right, closed captions. We added support for closed captions in HTML5. You can enable them in settings. You can, once a locale has started, you can choose a locale. You can enable closed captions in settings. You can customize it and see a preview of the text you would see on the screen. And can you switch slide? Okay. And this is how closed captions look on the screen. You can change the color, font size, and yeah, now we have them. And this is a brief overview of presenter functionality. These are the features which are not in master yet, but this is just a prototype. However, we have presenter controls in master already, so you can switch a slide. But in future, this is how it will look like. The Viber toolbar, you'll be able to draw and do exactly the same as you can do in Flash now.
Daniel, I'll talk about the video HTML5 client. So our use cases, the first one that we're targeting is desktop sharing. So this is WebRTC-share video from, for now, sending video to FreeSwitch and showing up in the HTML5 client. Future use cases would be webcam video originating from the HTML5 client, which can be sent directly to FreeSwitch, propagated to Red5 for the rest of the clients, and then webcam video originating from the Flash client. So desktop sharing in the HTML5 client. So viewing desktop sharing in the HTML5 client, it'll be using WebRTC real-time communication. So it's a browser implemented API, browser-browser peer-to-peer communication. It's secure communication. Communication can be done in browser using only JavaScript. And that browser will be connecting to a FreeSwitch endpoint called Modberto. It implements a JSON calling and messaging connection designed for use over secure WebSockets. So WebRTC calls originate from the HTML5 clients, and they directly connect to FreeSwitch. And this can allow for sharing of all browser-supported media, sharing and sending and receiving all browser-supported media. So in this case, screen sharing, receiving WebRTC video. And here's a screenshot of the HTML5 client viewing WebRTC-share. So we have our user list and chat on the left, and in the middle is the video, which replaces the presentation.
Okay, I will just show you guys some screenshots of the current presentation manager. It's still in development, it's not a master yet. So here you guys can see the list of presentations, and you can delete, upload new ones, and change the current one. Here's the UI when you upload a new file. The UI gives you feedback while the server is converting, which slide is being processed, and after it's done, you can move around and change the current or delete new slides.
slide. Since the last summit, me and Mario, we've been looking at using Currento Media Server to get webcam sharing and receiving functionality in the HTML5 client. And Currento is a WebRTC media servers, and it exposes us some simple APIs which we can use to build upon. And just switch. And using it together with the HTML5 client, we together with the HTML5 client, we can get H.264 video or VP8 video from shared webcams and received webcams. Our current architecture, a user will share their webcam stream, and then each other Connect user can get a stream for the webcam of the other users. So individual streams. And the code that we currently have, which is a branch in BigBlueButton, it works with the sharing among HTML5 users, but we also are investigating some possibilities of sharing the streams with Flash so that we could get interoperability.
So we could use the H.264 stream and receive it from Red5, receive it in Currento. And we already tried that and it works, but we haven't released that yet. But it's not ready yet, but this is a possibility.
No, I can just go back. So here we have a screenshot. This is three people sharing webcams, and you see I'm the one down below there. So I'm seeing my look back, and there's Mario and Felipe sharing their webcams in their computers, and this all is going through Currento Media Server. And I have there two streams, WebRTC streams that I'm receiving. Okay, so the architecture currently is we just add a new components, a new Currento Media Server that can be installed alongside the BigBlueButton server, or you could have it on some other computer. And then we have a signaling socket from a Node.js application, which is run alongside BigBlueButton, which just opens endpoints and coordinates the Currento Media Server, what it should do. And on the HTML5 client side, we have a WebSocket which does the signaling. So if I want to share webcam, I just send a message to the server saying, this is my webcam, this is my user ID. Just open the stream there on Currento Media Server, and then each other user who wants to receive my webcam stream just says, here's Lucas' webcam ID, I want to see this stream, and then it just gets the WebRTC video directly from the Currento Media Server.
All right, so this was a review of the latest. So this was the latest update from the HTML5 client, and now it's time to talk about release plans. So HTML5 client is still in the process of being built. As you can see, we're working on prototyping some possible solutions for video, but most importantly, we're working on the desktop sharing possibilities. And as Fred mentioned in the previous presentation about BigBlueButton, we definitely want the HTML5 client to be able to see everything that presenter is displaying, and that includes desktop share. So you should expect the HTML5 client to development release to be out in the near future, but we definitely need to continue working on desktop sharing, and we'll continue testing it. We want the HTML5 users to experience a stable client and have an experience as good as in the current Flash client. On this slide, we have links to the GitHub project. All the source code for BigBlueButton is there. And under it, we have a link to the HTML5 documentation. This is all public. And we have some designs and other links related to HTML5. They're all accessible using docs, bigbluebutton.org. This is time to answer all the questions you guys have. And we'll do our best. Thank you, everybody, for being here, first of all. Please write your questions in the public chat, and we'll answer.
So Stephen asked on the chat if we've encountered any memory leaks in Currento. Not on this current prototype. We're using VP8 encoding. In other projects that we've been using it, there's some memory leaks on the H.264 code, I guess. And there's a bug report open with the Currento devs, and they say they're working on it. But yeah, so yes, for your question.
All right, Oliver is asking if there are any plans for layouts, just like in the Flash client. So we have considered this, and however, we don't have that just now. But the positive side is that this is an HTML5 client, so everything is controlled using CSS. So this is one of the improvements we're looking for in the future. So please stay tuned.
It depends on what the project ultimately decides to do, but it's a possibility. It's something that we could explore.
Also, we don't know for sure how RTMP works in Currento, so we have to investigate that.
Yeah.
At this point, we'll stop the recording, but if you have any other questions, please feel free to type them in the public chat and we'll answer. Thank you all for being here.